Okay, well, hello everybody. My name is Johnny Lacey, and I'm an admissions outreach representative for Keck Graduate Institute School of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. Thank you all for joining me today. Welcome to my webinar, Your Future as a Pharmacist. Today, I plan on giving you as complete of an overview of our pharmacy program and a pathway that allows students the ability to apply directly from a community college. I'll make sure to allow some time at the end of this presentation for questions, but I really also want you to feel free to take down my email address. It's right here on this first page. It's jlacey@kgi.edu. Looks like we have a pretty small group today, so please feel free to unmute if you have a question. I am more than happy to make this much more engaging. And I do see now that we have one more person. Well, welcome, Sahar. I'm Johnny Lacey with KGI. We're just getting started. As I said, since we do have such a small group, I do not mind people unmuting and asking some questions. You can also use the chat. And I'm going to get happy to help you out as best as I can. So let's go ahead and get started. So first off, I want to talk a little bit about Keck Graduate Institute. We are located in Claremont. That is a city that's on the eastern edge of LA County. It's about 30 miles downtown from LA. We're right in the foothills of the San Gabriel Mountains, and Claremont is a unique and historic college town. It's known for its tree-lined streets, historic buildings that are dating all the way back to the 1800s, as well as the Claremont Village. Has a lot of great restaurants, bars, cool boutiques. It's where all the college students get together and hang out, and Claremont City is known as the city of trees and PhDs. So really just a beautiful little city. Let's talk a little bit about Keck Graduate Institute. I'm going to refer to it as KGI. We are part of the Claremont Colleges, also known as the 7 Cs. They are a group of 7 private, highly selective colleges who share a wide range of central facilities and services. We're the 7th and the newest member of the Claremont Colleges. And we're a small campus, so you really get all the benefits of a very large campus, but you don't have to walk a mile to get to class. So you do get a lot of really great benefits from being a part of the Claremont Colleges, and those do include Harvey Mudd, Scripps, Claremont McKenna, Pitzer, Pomona, and Claremont Graduate. So Claremont Graduate and KGI are the 2 graduate programs. Hopefully you guys can hear this. Here's a little video.
Some people accept the world as it is. Others innovate. For more than 20 years, KGI has provided exceptional postgraduate education to equip students to thrive in their chosen industries. With research-based programs rooted in science, technology, healthcare, and entrepreneurial innovation, students become leaders by mastering competitive skills and gaining hands-on experience. By promoting active learning, fostering an environment that sparks creativity, and connecting students to competitive career opportunities, KGI helps students challenge old ideas, master specializations in highly sought-after fields, and ultimately find a meaningful career in the applied life sciences and healthcare. Innovation starts when powerful minds are given the best resources. That's why at KGI, innovators start here.
Recording. Okay, So back to a little bit about KGI. Our mission is to enrich society with breakthrough approaches to education and translational research in healthcare and the life sciences. So really, if it is your passion to help people in many different ways, and a career in pharmacy really might be the right career path for you. As a graduate of KGI's PharmD program, you'll be prepared for the increasingly diverse roles pharmacists play in providing healthcare. In a little bit, we're going to be talking about some of those exciting career paths. At the core, diversity is all about inclusion, and KGI is committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Um, we have more than 50 diverse student clubs and organizations, as well as student celebrations and events that really honor our wonderful and unique differences that make each student so special. We also have what's called the JEDI Committee. That's Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. And our mission is to integrate best practices for diversity into our institution in its values, policies, and programs. So I think it's very important to say that we are all about diversity, equity, and inclusion. And we are really taking a serious look at different ways that we can honor diversity, okay? I always enjoy visuals, and so I thought it'd be really fun to see what our campus looks like. So I put in some pictures. Here's a picture of part of our campus facing the Oasis Commons, which is the KGI student housing or apartments. Those feature a pool, fitness center, 10,000 square feet of classroom space, a meditation Zen room, meeting rooms, study rooms, and the Gail Carson Riggs Student Center. They are pet-friendly apartments, so you can make sure your fur babies are there to help you study. Here's another picture outside of our 535 building. It's got many of our classrooms and labs. Here's one of our newest buildings. It's known as the 555 building. It includes this really great student space for you to meet up with your fellow students, study, hang out. This building also has classrooms. It's got medical office exam rooms, hospital emergency room, and those are used for interprofessional training, which you would be doing with the physician assistant and occupational therapist, as well as other programs. And also there is a state-of-the-art anatomy and physiology lab with virtual cadavers. It's amazing technology here at KGI. Before I go on, if anybody has any questions, put something in the chat and I'll get to you, okay? Here's one more area in the 555 building for students to congregate at. This area right here connects to the kitchen, and there's also an inside dining area as well as an outside dining area. And if you really look in the back right there, that is where the virtual anatomy and physiology lab is. It's a classroom, and the pharmacy students do some of their classes in this brand new building. Here's one more shot. I thought it's a really cool one of our Oasis apartments with the pool area for those people who live on campus. And right in front of the pool, that is a gym that is open very late for our students. And many of our outdoor events and celebrations are held in these areas. Really a fun place, okay? So let's go ahead and talk about this community college to doctor of pharmacy pathway. Now, what this means is this program does not require a student to have completed an undergraduate degree, which is a bachelor's degree, also known as a baccalaureate degree. So students can complete their prerequisites at the community college level. So guess one of the best advantages for students is the amount of time and money that you can save by bypassing an undergraduate institution and by completing your courses at the community college and then going right into a 4-year Doctor of Pharmacy pathway. Okay, if a student completes their prerequisites in the 2 years, then the KGI pharmacy program takes 4 years. So essentially, you become a doctor of pharmacy in 6 years. Okay, so some of the benefits by becoming a community college student, and if there's anybody that's on this webinar today that has a bachelor's degree, I'm going to let you know that we extend out these benefits as well to those that are coming from a bachelor's degree. So I don't want anybody to feel that they won't be able to receive the same benefits. But this pathway includes dedicated scholarships. These are generous scholarships, and I'm going to talk about those in a little bit. But we've also have a pre-pharmacy enrichment program that's done during the summer. And you have access to summer science prerequisite classes. And I'm going to go into a little bit more detail. And of course, any questions that you do have about some of these slides, you let me know. I don't have time to go into detail on every single thing, but we will go into those 3 very important benefits that I think are going to be such a value to you. So let's talk a little bit about the pre-pharmacy enrichment program. This is held during the summer. It can be completed online or on the KGI campus. There is no cost for this program. Okay, so if you're interested in exploring pharmacy, you're going to be doing different activities, talks, presentations. You're going to be working with faculty, alumni, and current students. So not only will this look good on a resume, whether you go into pharmacy or not, you're going to have met a lot of new people that can be a part of your network that can really help guide you in your career path. So this is a really great way to do it. The pre-pharmacy enrichment program, they call it PrEP, okay? Now let's talk about some of these summer science courses. Now I wanna explain how these courses work. Now, you have a benefit if you are a PharmD student that has applied to our pharmacy school and you've been accepted, but let's say you're missing 2, 3 of your summer science courses. You can take those courses during the summer here at KGI. You do pay upfront for them. But if you continue on and you go into our pharmacy school, that money that you've paid will be taken off of your tuition, okay? Now, really, you are paying up front, but you do get them paid for out of your tuition. But usually it's only if you're missing a couple of them, 2 or 3, because you have to really be accepted into the program in order to take advantage of this benefit. Does anybody have any questions about this? Because sometimes it does come across a little confusing. If you do, why don't you just unmute and ask? If not, I'll continue on. At any time, you guys unmute and ask your questions. Those courses are 8 weeks, okay? Most of them are done asynchronous, which means online. But if they do have a lab, you would have to complete the lab on campus. Let's talk about presidential access scholarships. First and foremost, KGI has very competitive scholarships that are merit-based and need-based. When you apply to come to the School of Pharmacy at Keck Graduate Institute, you are automatically considered for scholarships that really, on an average, are at about $40,000. However, I will be honest with you, I have seen them go up based on need and merit. So you will always be considered for a KGI scholarship. And I'll talk a little bit more about our Scholars Night, which I think is really impressive. Let's talk about the prerequisites. So let's really take a look at these. If you wanted to go from a community college or even your bachelor's degree, these are the classes that you need. And as you can see, they're broken down into semester credits. I want to be very honest with you. for those who are interested in doing this path and you wanted to get this done in 2 years, you would really have to be going full-time and usually attending a summer intersession in order to be able to do this. So it is my advice is to always talk to an advisor at your college to ensure that you're able to get these done in the 2 years if you're trying to get done with your doctor of pharmacy in 6 years. As you can see, the first one is general biology with lab, general chemistry with lab, organic chemistry with lab, A&P with lab, biochem with lab. If you look at those are 8 semester credits, that is a full year of that class. So 2 full semesters with labs. Okay, the rest are just 1 class. Any question about those prerequisites? It's a lot of science, but since you guys are all so amazingly intelligent, I know you could pull it off.
Yeah, I actually had a question in regards to the labs that if the lab had to be taken online due to COVID, are they still accepted?
Okay, so when they look at a transcript, that would be something that you would put to the admission advisor's attention. And most likely because it was done due to the pandemic, they would probably, but they take that on a case-by-case basis. But I have a good feeling that it would be able to pass.
Yeah, okay. It was just for one of the organic chemistry, so.
Yeah, did you take your second organic chem yet?
Yeah, I'm already pretty much done with a lot of the prerequisites on here. I just have 2 more classes.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, especially if you did one that was online and then the other one was in person, that'll really make a difference too. Okay, Catherine?
Mhm.
I have a question.
Sure.
If I'm missing one of the prerequisites, do you still consider our application and go through it and give us the opportunity for the interview if we're selected?
Yes. Yes, that's a great question. Your name is Sahar, correct?
Correct, yes.
Yes. Would you know which one are you missing one in particular?
I guess just one of the bios because I only took one general bio class with lab.
Okay. So yeah, so you would still want to apply, and that would be like you would be in a situation where you could most likely get, if we are offering it next summer, it would most likely be where you'd be able to take it next summer unless you're trying to get into this fall. That would be one that you could get at no cost. But yeah, they will still consider you because they're going to look at the rest of your transcripts, okay?
Okay.
And be aware there is the ability if you are missing one class to start PharmD as long as you've got a plan to get that done within, I believe, the first year. Okay?
Sounds good. One more question. For the anatomy and physiology, would it be okay if we take that separately?
Yes.
Or that's together?
Yes, you can take them separately too.
Thank you.
Okay. All righty. I'm going to keep moving on here. Some of the things I'm just going to skim over. The PharmD program, it's designed to provide the education of innovative pharmacists who will serve the needs of individual patients, the healthcare system, and the bioscience industry. What I want you guys to know mostly about KGI is how we leverage our close contacts with biotech and pharmaceutical industries. So many people, many graduates decide to go down that role. They do not always just go into a community pharmacy or ambulatory care or a hospital pharmacy. Many of them are introduced into biotech and pharmaceutical industry, and they want to go down that road, which they will be the subject matter expert on everything to do with medicine, drug discovery, research and development. So you're part of a team that is doing clinical trials to bring new medications to market. So it's really an amazing way to be tied into industry is through KGI and through the fellowships. And I'll tell you a little bit more about those fellowships. Here's some of the things that differentiate us. First is the small class sizes. You are going to go through this 4-year program with one class. So you guys, the class is never more than 50 students. You do a lot of active learning, team learning, and a flipped classroom. A flipped classroom essentially means that they don't just, what they'll do is they'll go over a certain subject the night before, and then when you come into that classroom the next day, you are really working on team projects on how to learn about what you learned the night before, okay? But really, the other thing that really stands out about KGI is that you'll receive not only your PharmD degree, but you will get a certificate in one of 4 specialty areas. That's medication therapy outcomes, healthcare management, pharmacy informatics, or medical and clinical affairs. And so I will go over those in a bit. And one other thing I think is really great is the interprofessional education opportunities that you have with the other students here. And I'm going to talk about one that I think is going to be amazing, which is doing research with the genetics and the genomics students. And I'll talk to you that in a bit. The PharmD curriculum is going to prepare you to lead the profession into the future by receiving an increased emphasis on interprofessional collaboration, informatics, pharmacogenomics, pharmacovigilance, diagnostics, biomarkers, entrepreneurship, and clinical and regulatory affairs. And the KGI curriculum is really broken down into the following 4, which is your sciences, your clinical skills, your experiential, which is also called clinical rotations, where you actually train in different types of pharmacies, and professional development, okay? This is the part that I think is really cool. When you break down that curriculum into those 4 broad areas, one thing that they do is called the integrated sequence courses that combine the foundational science content with the clinical therapeutic content for each disease and organ system. So for example, if the student, let's say you're studying cardiology, in the morning, you're going to learn about the pathophysiology of particular diseases that go with cardiology. And then you're going to learn about the drugs to treat those diseases and the chemistry and the mechanism of those drugs. That same day, you're going to have faculty come in and show you about how to use the drug safely and effectively in various patient populations. So essentially, it really allows to serve as a foundation where these clinical topics, they're built upon one another. So just a great way for you to understand it. And not only that, then they go over these again with you, before you're testing and whatnot. But it's just a great way for you to learn about the different disease states and the medications that are used for those diseases. The PharmD program structure, it's a 4-year program. The first 3 years are called your didactic years, and that's really just classroom time, okay? You still will do some of your experiential clinical rotations, but the main last year is really when you do all your advanced pharmacy practice experience, as well as a capstone course, and then reviewing for your NAPLEX, and we'll go over that in a minute. Let's talk about those 4 certificate programs that KGI provides, okay? So the great thing about these certificates is that you're gonna pick one, and it gives you an extra skill set that you can put on your resume and a certificate, and it gives you 9 more units of specialized instruction, as well as another 120 hours of training that you will do in a pharmacy based on that specialty. So you've got pharmacy informatics. So for those people who really like computer data and how to utilize all the data, that's pharmacy informatics. Healthcare management. So if you want to own your own pharmacy, if you want to be a pharmacy manager or manage teams, you're going to be able to take healthcare management. If you're somebody who really does want to be a part of the biotech and pharmaceutical industries that are bringing medications to market, you may be doing medical and clinical affairs, and that teaches you all the regulations and whatnot that go into getting those clinical trials into an actual medication that comes to market. And then the last one is the medication therapy outcomes. And this one is really more of a pharmacist who wants to work in underserved populations, where pharmacists do a lot more hands-on. Because as you guys may or may not know, pharmacists are doing much more in pharmacies. They're giving vaccinations, immunizations. They're teaching their patients more. They're going over different types of products, even smoking cessation, things like that. So medication therapy outcomes is more on the clinical side of things. Okay. Our students go through a lot of different experiences here at KGI. Of course, they have their internships. They are already have their immunization certifications in that first year, smoking cessation. So they're able to go in and work healthcare fairs that really build up your resume. They do service projects, research projects. They give out immunizations. KGI holds a career fair for you guys. The co-curricular activities, those are both within KGI and outside of KGI. So they connect to other universities that you do different activities with. And then, of course, we do have a ton of professional and student organizations. And one of them that I'm really excited to talk about in a few minutes. Any questions before I go on? All right. If you guys didn't know, KGI is now gotten a little Beaker B. That's the mascot. There he is right there. He's so darn cute. Here's some of our outcomes from our PharmD graduates. These are our most recent kind of success story. And I'm just gonna kind of go over them. So these are some of our residency success stories. So once you graduate, some students go right out into working, while others go into a residency program that actually pays them while they're training for a specialty. So we'll go over a couple of these. Nancy, she is doing her residency at UC San Francisco Medical Center. She's focusing on specialized oncology, which is amazing, especially for those that want to work with cancer patients. Monica's over at Riverside Community Hospital. It's got one of the largest ER departments, and it's a level 1 trauma center. So not only will she be getting to work in trauma medicine, she's local right here. So these are just a little handful of some of the success stories that are out there for residencies. Fellowships. Okay, so a fellowship is for those students who decide to go into biotechnology and pharmaceutical industries rather than just be a community or hospital clinical type of pharmacist. So we'll look at like Joshua. He is, he's accepted a 2-year oncology fellowship in global commercial strategy at the Massachusetts College of Pharmacy and Health Science. And that's in partnership with Sanofi Specialty. So he's going to be part of teams that are bringing new cancer medications to the market. Christy Wong landed a 2-year worldwide commercial development fellowship with Rutgers University with Bristol Myers Squibb in New Jersey, while she'll contribute to the advancement of the BMS oncology early stage pipeline and business development. So as you can see, there's a whole different career path for those people who want to go into the fellowship program. And we've got an amazing fellowship team that can help you get prepared to apply for these types of fellowships. Let's talk about some money here. Let's talk about careers. So the 2021 median pay for a pharmacist, that means that that's in the very middle range, was almost $130,000 per year. That's almost $62 per hour. So as you can see, we don't need to go through all of this, but there are many different careers that you can go down, including being a veterinarian pharmacist, infectious disease, oncology, compounding, pediatric. But I also wanted to talk to you a little bit about some underexplored and emerging careers. I won't go through all of these, but pharmacists also become pharmacy professors. They work in immunization services. There's so much now telehealth and online services that there's specialties within that, including getting into biotech, getting into research, working with state and regional health organizations like the Department of Public Service and Public Health, and even federal government agencies, including FEMA, Medicare, Medicaid, and a couple of that I think are really kind of exciting is a sports medicine pharmacist, and also those that work in substance abuse treatment. Okay, there's a huge epidemic of people overdosing on fentanyl. And there is more and more need for people to go out there and help these people that are struggling with addiction. And I think it's really a great way to serve mankind. But I wanted to also talk to you about sports medicine pharmacist. Has anybody ever heard of a sports medicine pharmacist? Well, what is sports pharmacy? Well, this is pharmacy personnel working with athletes. So those that are in the Olympics, the Junior Olympics, the Special Olympics, these are pharmacists that are medication experts, and they're using it in context for athletes. So sports pharmacy experts in the field originally were really much behind the scenes because of course it's the athletes that are in the spotlight. But in this past decade, the sports pharmacy has exploded onto the world stage. And so you would have to go through some additional advanced training. And so this is something I want you guys to think about, because I put a couple of different websites on there, sportspharmacist.org and sportsoracle.com. And I know that Sports Oracle has what's called the IOC, which is the International Olympic Committee Certificate in Drugs in Sport. Okay, so this is an international postgraduate program for healthcare professionals, including pharmacists, on the safe and effective use of drugs in sports. And as we know, there's been some major scandals on doping. So I'm sure you would have a lot to do with ensuring that athletes were not doping. But anyway, I think it's just super exciting, because if you love sports and you love the Olympics, you could be there one day. Okay, so that's just a little look at some of the different careers that are out there. This is another one that I wanted to talk to you about, pharmacogenomics. Okay, so pharmacogenomics is really new and emerging medication therapy management service provided by pharmacists, where they play a role in the interpretation and application of a patient's genetic information to optimize a patient's response to medication therapy. Now, this is really an emerging field. So you guys are the future of pharmacogenomics, where pharmacists are really tailoring and personalizing medication therapies based on someone's genetics and genomics, okay? They provide preemptive care. They prevent and minimize toxicity from medications, and they really optimize their use. Now, what I think is really very cool, something to think about with KGI, is that KGI has two other grad programs. One's genetic counseling, the other is genomic data and analytics. So you would be very well positioned to join the KGI's research club and do some interprofessional research while you were at this school that combine pharmacy and genomics, which is, of course, pharmacogenomics, because this is going to be the future of medicine, and it's called personalized healthcare. So is there any questions about the research club here at KGI? Right, I will keep going. So I'm going to kind of skim over some of this, but to apply to KGI School of Pharmacy, it's at pharmcast.org. Okay, this is where all pharmacy applications go. The priority deadline is December 15th, but the final deadline is actually in the summer of 2023. Okay, there are some benefits to applying before this deadline, and I'm going to go over those because you get a higher consideration for those scholarships is one thing. Okay. There is a lot of the pharmacy schools do require the PCAT, which is a standardized test for admissions. However, KGI does not require any standardized test for admission. Okay. Right now, it does say that prerequisites must be completed at an accredited U.S. institution with a C or better, and science courses must be within the last 10 years. However, I do want to let you know that KGI is right now currently reviewing the ability to take international students and courses that were outside of the U.S. And there is no minimum GPA here at KGI. However, a 3.0 is really necessary in order to be competitive. And we do require 3 letters of recommendation. 1 must be submitted by a professor. So do yourself a favor. Always make sure you are in good standings with all of your professors. They know what you are trying to accomplish in your life, and so that you can ask them for letters of recommendation. Any questions about those specific requirements? Here's some tips for your application and an interview. Come and visit us at KGI. You guys have my email address. If you want to come down here by yourself, with a friend, with your family, or as a group, I'll pull out the red carpet for you guys. We can do a tour, take you to lunch, things like that. It's a great way to come and look at our campus. Make sure you really review the admissions requirements. Look through Pharmcast, log in and review that website. Speak to pharmacists, faculty, students, get involved. Read all you can about pharmacy. When you are coming in for an interview, you want to know why you want to be a pharmacist. What's your interest? What's your motivation? Know why you would like to come to our pharmacy program. Okay, you want to work with admissions on how to write a great personal statement. We provide all kinds of different workshops that are online or even in person that will help you on how to interview better and how to write that personal statement. Get involved in that pre-pharmacy enrichment program. It's only 5 days. If you do, there are benefits that come with that. You will be considered for scholarships more. You will already know faculty. They won't make you come up with as many letters of recommendation. I think you only have to come up with 1. You'll already have the faculty buy-in. And always look at your leadership skills, okay? Start working on leadership skills because pharmacists are leaders. They are subject matter experts on everything medication, and they lead along with nurses and doctors to provide the best healthcare for patients. And make sure you know how to talk about working as a team and collaborating on a team. Okay. Here are some of our upcoming webinars that are happening. And so you can always go to our website at kgi.edu /visit to look at everything that we have upcoming. And actually, November 12th is a really fun day. It goes from 9 to 2. You get to meet with our president, faculty, you get to take a tour of the campus, learn about the programs in person. We'll have a lunch for you. And then at 2 o'clock, there is an optional campus tour. But it's a really great way to come onto this campus and make sure it feels right for you, because, you know, you got to make sure you end up in the right place. Of course, financial aid loans and scholarship. We have an amazing financial aid team. So they're here to help you with everything to do about funding your education. So you guys are eligible to apply for federal and merit-based student loans. We do have, like I said, a large number of generous need-based and merit-based scholarships. And we have dedicated scholarships for PharmD as well as for community college to PharmD. So you're considered for even more scholarships if you came through the community college pathway. And also, I want you to see this presidential distinction. It's a merit-based scholarship that supports KGI's effort to increase diversity of student pharmacists. So when you come in, you make sure that you are able to talk about DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, some of the hardships and challenges that you've gone through and how you were able to overcome them, and how you feel about diversity, equity, and inclusion. Here's one that I really want you guys to know about, okay? This is called the KGI PharmD Scholars Night. This is by invitation only, okay? It's on January 28th. This is a scholarship event where top students who have accepted an admissions offer to KGI PharmD, you're gonna meet with faculty, staff, and current students. You're gonna learn more about our program. There's gonna be games and a scholarship awards dinner at the end of the event. And it's going to provide additional scholarships to top scholar students. And there may even be 1 or 2 full rides, okay? Here's the dates for that. This is important. This is only for this year. We don't know if this will be every year, but this is for this year. You have to have your application submitted by December 5th. You have to have attended your interview day by December 15th. December 15th is the last day for an interview day to be considered for the PharmD Scholars Night. If you're invited to a Scholars Night, you're going to receive that letter by December 20th. You have to accept your admissions acceptance offer by January 3rd, RSVP for Scholars Night by January 9th, and then of course attend Scholars Night on January 28th.
I have a question.
Sure.
So for the Pharmcast, what is the priority registration? Will that be October 1st or November?
It's December. In order to do Scholars Night, you need to have priority by December 5th application. So that's your priority. And when you do priority, you are pretty much you're going to be considered for Scholars Night, which means additional possibilities for scholarships.
Okay. And then that day is December is the same for the Pharmcast application too?
Well, yeah, just so you know, when it comes to FarmCast, you actually have the priority deadline for FarmCast is December 15th. But if you're going to be using this priority deadline, you should really use the December 5th deadline. That way you could be a part of the Scholars Night as well. But this gives you priority consideration for merit-based scholarships. But remember, the final deadline is June 1st in the summer. So you can apply all the way up to June 1st. You just don't have priority consideration for Scholars Night, and you don't have priority consideration for merit-based scholarships. Because if they run out, for those that are applying later, if they've run out, you don't have as much opportunity to get the scholarships. So it's better to do it early.
Okay. And then by that time, should we have transcripts, all the transcripts and the recommendation letters all submitted in once? Or we can just submit the application and then...
Yes, you definitely, when you do a full application, you don't you can slowly but surely build up all your application, right, before you submit it. So you should start looking at what it takes to get everything done the way you want it done. But yes, once you apply by December 5th, everything really needs to be there, including your transcripts, your letters of recommendation. If you are having a problem with getting one thing or another, you can talk to Tanisha. She handles all of that, and she could, still put you through the process. So there is some wiggle room. And then if you want, we can do a complimentary review of transcripts now or anytime before you do that, just to make sure you've got all the prerequisites done if you like.
Right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Here's me and my team. You can follow us on all the social media platforms, Facebook, Insta, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. Why is FL not coming to right now? Oh, one of them's I can't remember. Anyway, all the main ones. So I'm going to stop this share. And if you guys want to show your face or not, don't worry. I'm not worried about it, but I want to see if you have any questions, anything you want me to go over with you, because we've got, about 10 more minutes. So does anybody have any questions or concerns or anything that I can help you with? That's what I'm here for.
In terms of reviewing the application, how long usually takes to review the application and send an email to the students?
So usually what you're going to find is usually within 1 week, you will find out if you have been given an interview.
Okay.
Once you have an interview, probably about another week before you find out if you have an acceptance. Sometimes it goes a little bit longer, no more than 2 weeks. And usually within that, they will provide you with a look at an initial scholarship. But if you are a top student who scores very well, if you've got a very competitive GPA, if you've done very well on your interview, you may also be brought in for the Scholars Night where you could be one of those people that can get a full ride here at KGI.
Good.
Anybody have any other questions? Billy, Janet, Catherine, Sahar.
How long does the interview take usually?
The interview is, I believe it's about a 5-hour day. Like when you come in, you go through different, the actual interview isn't 5 hours. but you come in and you meet with the group and you have a little breakfast and then you introduce yourself. So the interview, I believe might just be about a half hour with one group and then maybe another 15 to 20 minutes with another group where it's really you doing a good interview and talking about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? Well, I really hope that you guys will come and look at Keck Graduate Institute. Please feel free to email me with any questions. I'm really here to help. If you guys are part of any pharmacy clubs that you want me to come and visit at your school, you can let me know that. But mostly I want you to know one thing about KGI. When it comes to the interview process, they really make you guys feel wonderful about yourselves. They are not here to try to make it difficult. They want to help you. They build you up. They don't tear you down. And so I want you to know that most pharmacy schools don't provide what KGI does, which you feel good about it because it already is nerve-wracking. So just be aware of that. So take advantage of our visit days, our different workshops. There's workshops about how to interview good, about how to write a good essay, things like that. Take advantage of those types of things because whether or not it's just for KGI or other colleges, it will really bring you to the next level. And like I said, if you need anything, you let me know. Other than that, I wish you guys all the best success in your education and in your careers. And I hope you reach out to me with any questions or concerns, okay?
Thank you. I actually, one question did come up.
Sure.
In regards to reviewing the transcripts to make sure we have all the ones that we need, how do we do that? Can we set that up with you?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
Just
So
email me, Lacey, JLACEY at kgi.edu.
perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
For the personal statements, do you have any tips or anything that you want to give us? Like, what are you specifically looking for in that personal statement?
No, that's a great question. Actually, I do. That would be something, if you're interested, I'd be more than happy to schedule something with you where we just kind of talk about it. But in general, when you're doing that, I have some really good documents that I could email you as well.
That'd be great.
Yeah, and there's just really, they're really trying to find out like, who you are. But you remember when you do a personal essay, you got to read in PharmCast because they ask you specific questions like why you selected pharmacy as a career and how this degree relates to your immediate goals, your long-term goals, and describe how your personal, your educational, and your professional background is going to help you achieve your goals, and what are you going to do with your career. So you really want to be able to talk about all these different things, and why you select pharmacy as a career and why KGI. So I will definitely, why don't you email me and I'll work with you on that, Sahara. I'll be happy to do
Sounds
that.
good. Sounds good. Yeah.
Anything else?
Do you think you might be able to look at my personal statements and then give me some feedbacks on that too?
Certainly. Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Not a problem.
Okay.
Catherine, anything else?
Nope, just going over my notes.
Catherine, what school are you at right now?
I'm at Orange Coast Community College right now.
Oh, nice. I went to Orange Coast.
Yeah, and I'm taking a biochemistry course at Coastline. That's where my
Okay.
teacher provided this link for the subject.
Oh, nice. Who is that? Dr.
Faust?
Yeah, Dr. Faust. Are you
Yeah.
part of that pre-med club that I popped in that day?
No,
Okay.
I just, this is the first class I take there.
Oh, cool. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, good, good, good. I just met with Dr. Faust, when I first started here at KGI. So I'm glad to hear that he's putting out some information. Sahar, what about you? Where you go to school?
I recently graduated from the Cal State Long Beach, and I'm taking 2 of my prerequisites in Saddleback College.
Oh, very good. Very good. Are you from Mission Viejo area?
Yeah, I live in Irvine.
Okay, very good. Very good.
So
I
close.
live out in that area too. So,
Oh, good.
okay,
So
well,
you commute every day to?
no, I'm an outside rep. So I work from home or I go out to your colleges. And so I'm usually in the field.
That's good.
Yeah. No, I don't want to drive all the way to Claremont every day.
That's a long driving.
Well, remember, Sahar, whether you have your degree from the community college or from like UC LB or CSULB, we will still provide you all the benefits.
That's good. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you again.
Have a good day.
Have a good one. I hope to meet you guys soon. Come and see me on campus. Set something up, and that way I can walk you around and show you what it's really like here. Okay.
Sure.
Sounds good.
All
Have a great
right.
day.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you.